Good morning, everyone. This is my game against Aussie Drongo. Now, for those of you that don't know, Aussie Drongo is a huge AoE4 content creator. If you don't know who he is, check him out on YouTube, Twitch. Amazing guy, amazing content. Definitely the #1 content provider for AoE that covers everything from build orders to games. His casting is amazing, so definitely go check him out. And I figured since I got to play him, this would be a good game to watch. So I'm playing Ayyubids, he's playing Japanese. We're just going to keep it on my camera profile, and I'm going to try to walk through some of my mindset as the game goes on and what I'm doing and why I'm doing it. For those of you that don't know, I was a top 100 player last season, so season 5. I think I ended up the season 80 in rank 82 and hit as high as like 74. So, you know, fairly decent, but there is a big gap between kind of 50 to 100 and 1 to 30. So I'm definitely, you know, not the best player out there or even close to the best, but I'm decent. I did play a lot of Abyssid, and so in the new season with the 6 new civs, I am playing the Ayyubids a lot. I do like them, and we'll probably release a build order guide for them coming shortly. But let's just get into the game. I mean, it's pretty much the same opening that I do for the Abyssids. I just want to, you know, get up to feudal when I can and get on berries and scout the map. And the map is cliffside, so we are very close to each other. He is playing the Byzantines. Also very, very strong civ, very unique. I love these new civs actually. They're really good. I feel like they're really well thought out, and yeah, really happy with them. They bring, hopefully they'll bring new players. They definitely bring more interest into the game, and I'm looking forward to playing with more of them. Right now, I've mostly played the Ayyubids and Japanese. I like the Japanese, but I don't know. I haven't quite figured them out in a 1v1 yet. I feel that I'm always behind, whereas Ayyubids I feel are really good when I play them. Like I said, I did play Abbasid a lot last season. Primarily Abbasid, and so Ayyubids is not too new. I mean, they have a whole bunch of new mechanics where they're more cavalry focused and camel focused with the desert riders that allow you to convert them from you know, melee to ranged form. But some of their things are still the same. Like they still have House of Wisdom. They still have you know, upgraded berries and so on and so forth. Okay, so right now I'm just going on collecting sheep. Again, just trying to age up. Definitely recommend look at one of the builds out there. Probably like, I think BC just released a build for Ayyubids where the trade bazaar age up is becoming really popular. So for those of you that don't know, it's basically the casino age up, where you age up, you get a certain amount of tickets. I think it's like 4 or 5 tickets, and you can get one of like 8 things. You can get resources, you can get some military units, you can get traders, you can get villagers, and they each cost 125 gold with this age up. So here I go, I'm aging up, and then my main goal from here is to get wheelbarrow, and then build an archery range and get out some desert riders. So the nice thing about desert riders, you can build them from both archery ranges and stables. I usually elect to build an archery range first because I can build desert raiders or riders out of there, and then if they do decide to go mass spear, then I can just build archers without having to build a different military building, and then depending on what their second unit composition is, I can either add in a stables or barracks to follow that. So I feel like they're super flexible because of that, but I do like to go archery range first as opposed to stables first, because If I do need to build archers versus some spears, let's say, like I would have to build another archery range. Like I said, I will put out a build order guide later. I'm still kind of perfecting the build where you're going early aggression. And then, yeah, I think that Ayyubids right now, I don't really focus on 2TC. You know, expansions got nerfed with this season, right? You're only allowed 7 villagers inside, and the range is reduced, and so they're a lot easier to kill. So I feel like if you do want to play that boom style 2-3 TCs, then Abyssid is probably still better than Ayyubids. So I do like to play more aggressive, try to get map control, try to go to castle, stay on 1 TC. And so you see I get the age up there, and I got 2 extra, or no, I got, what did I get out of my, well, we'll find out in a second. But I basically, right, so I have villagers, right, so I just got the gold for the villagers, so I got the extra 2 villagers. Byzantines do age up a little bit later, not really sure why yet, but that's normal for him to age up so late. It doesn't matter for him because it's not like I can do anything prior to this time anyway, but I do get my archery range up, and then I do get my, you know, if we stop this for a sec, I do get my Desert Raider. They are Desert Raiders. I do get one going. Okay. I do build a tower on my gold here because I know that he's probably gone Hippodrome, and Hippodrome basically is like a stable, so it's sort of like a school of cavalry. You can build cavalry units. He can't build knights early or cataphracts as they have. So I just want to protect my gold really because it is a little bit far from my base. So I just build a nice tower there. Come across with a Desert Raider, and basically I just want to push him off his gold. My goal is not really to kill because it takes, I think, like 6 shots from a Desert Raider to kill a villager. Might be 7, 6 in feudal at least. But yeah, 6 or 7 shots, and he's not, he's still good. Like Aussie is a good player. He's not gonna let me just kill a villager just with 1 Desert Raider. So I like to get 2 out and then see what the response is usually. So right here I'm going to go scout. I want to see what production he has. I want to kill, chase up his scout. So I see that he has Hippodrome. In the game it doesn't like tell me whether he's producing out of it or not. So but in this case he obviously is. And then again I want to just push him off. Resources, try to get damage in. Maybe I get those villager kills later. I do see that he has an archer, and he is making horsemen. So in this case, I decide to go with a full melee composition with a barracks and desert riders, because I can always just turn the desert raiders into camel archers, essentially. But they're not as good as camel archers, right? Camel archers are 240 resources, 180 food, 60 wood. And desert raiders are 80 food, 50 wood, and 50 gold. So 180 versus 240, although they do cost gold. So way more gold heavy. And I do see that obviously he went Keshiks as well. So it was a good choice at this point to go spears. The reason that Byzantines want to build a lot of cav is because they have a unique ability called Triumph, which benefits the cavalry. That gives them like 10 extra damage, health regen, things like that. I don't remember the exact stats. So yeah, if they go Hippodrome, there's a good chance that they are going a cav heavy composition. And then you see I got 2 more villagers there that are moving to my gold from my ticket. It's just they call it casino, or we call it casino, just because it's random what you don't control. So here, see, the tower's paying dividends, essentially, stopping me from losing. I still lose this 1 villager because this pathing is terrible, but for the most part, I deal with it. And I like not to fight here. It's not really. I don't feel like I have enough spears. And he's building up archers, and he's pumping, more units than I am. I do want to try and go castle eventually, so I want to try and build as little as I can to kind of live, and then try to beat him to castle. So that's really the goal from here. You know, so I'm getting pretty heavy on food, right? Because I'm building a lot of units, so I need a lot of food, and I'm just trying to go castle while building units at the same time. But you always, if you see your opponent that has units, you always want to be building units and just try to go up castle to castle naturally. So here also what I do is, you know, because my army's sitting in my base, just in case he's trying to attack, I don't really have vision of his army right now. I do send a Desert Raider around just to try to harass, you know, divide his attention, create chaos. It's not necessarily meant to get, you know, damage in that way. And so I don't know what he's doing here necessarily, but he has his archers exposed, so this is a mistake from him. So I get to capitalize, and then, you know, I see that they're running away. I get an archer, right, and then I see that his calf is back around, and so I don't want to fight that. I turn my spears around for a sec because the sword's gonna get close, and then you know, back to my base, right? Trying to go up to castle here. So now I'm just focusing on my little raid here. I see he's getting a cistern up, a blacksmith. All right, he had a pretty good reaction with that actually. So that's really good on his part. This is really what you need to be doing. You need to be looking at the mini map at a high level because you don't know necessarily where you're being raided from. You know, for me, I'd be looking, you know, near my berries that I've expanded to constantly because that's, you know, an area of vulnerability for me. I'm going up with the stables because he is getting quite an archer mass, so I am going to be in a tri-composition. A tri-composition just basically means that you have units from barracks, archery range, and stables. And eventually most high-level games will go this way because you're always trying to counter what your opponent is doing. So, yeah, I just want to mass spears here because I do see that he has a lot of horsemen, or cavalry, and I of course, you know, just want to mass cavalry of my own at this point. So you can see I'm pretty close to castle. I'm also getting a few archers because, you know, I can use my archers to kill his archers. And in the meantime, I left my Desert Raider down there. He is going to be swarmed in a second, but I think I get away. Yeah, so he comes with spears, so that's smart, right? Like he's expanding. He's expanding with some units to make sure that he protects if my unit that you know, I had back there is still there, right? So that's something that you want to do is whenever you try to expand and there are units there, or you're not sure whether it's safe, it's you know, it's maybe a bit exposed, then make sure you bring some units. You know, usually it's going to be cav that's raiding you, so bringing spears is always generally a good idea. And here I want to go up to another range, just because I do have 3 melee production buildings, and you know, ranged production buildings are good for DPS. For my military wing, you know, if we just pause it there for a second, I do decide to go with the reinforcements. I've been testing this out. I kind of like this. I could go with the economic growth, but I feel that Abbasid Eco or Ayyubid Eco is pretty decent for what I'm trying to do already. And this way, like, I ensure that I have military control, and it comes into play later. And obviously, the later on this goes, you know, the more free units I get. And it's 540 resources every 2 minutes. I do feel like that's pretty good. You know, the 8 villagers instantly and additional 100 food. That's fine, but the thing is, I've already eaten up my main berry bush, and I'm already on a second berry bush, so I'm not going to get as much value out of the second portion of this. And when I do go imp, this economic growth can be good because it gives, I think, 10 villagers, and then it gives 10% work rate increase for all villagers. So I generally like to delay that for imp. I also, if I'm in a pinch, I can go culture wing advancement, which, you know, allows me to go up faster and cheaper. So if I'm in a pinch, I usually do that. But this game, I'm not under any pressure. He's not castle, so that's not something that I need to worry about. So yeah, now I'm just aging up. I'm trying to wall up, you know, trying to split the map. You'll see this a lot at a high level as well. Is the players will wall one side of the map and then fight on the other. So it's just a way for you to control. It's not like wood walls, so you're gonna stop him. But the important thing about wood walls is that they're cheap, they're fast to build, and then they'll give you information, right? So it's not gonna stop him going through. But if he goes through on that side and takes time to break down that wall, I have time to position my army over there. And so from here, I see that I have a lot of wood, so I need to try and spend that. I try to go for the forward food, but obviously, again, I see that he's moving in with horsemen now. What you'll notice that I did here is I garrisoned the stone first because they'll run into the tower, and then I pull the gold villagers over to my TC. Now, the reason why that's of importance is because if I garrison, the gold first, as an example, and then the stone, all the gold villagers would run into the tower, and then the stone villagers would have to run all the way. And if he decided to, he could dive that with his horsemen and possibly kill 1, 2, or even 3 villagers. So it was an important decision that I did that. But again, a more minute detail. Okay. So now again, I'm just posturing. I know that I'm going castle, so I don't want to fight. I want to make sure that I preserve my army because upgrades are so much more important when you preserve your army. I do need to go heavier on food, so I go on to that food. I probably should have towered that berry bush, but it's of no consequence in this game. But since I'm sitting on extra wood, I should do that. And the reason I was on stone and extra wood is because I was thinking about throwing up a second TC at this point. But instead, I just tried to do a little farm transition on my main TC because I run out of sheep. So I get 2 more villagers for my tickets. Those build up the entire time. And then every 2 minutes now I'll get some desert raiders, which we'll see in a sec. So I'm getting my desert raider upgrade because I have a lot of desert raiders, and I want to get gold to get my spear upgrade and blacksmith upgrades. So, I am building crossbow because I'm there's that pop out. I am anticipating that he goes castle at some point as well, and crossbow just have good damage, right? 12 damage and 9 versus heavy. So that's going to be important later because he is going to go cataphracts. And I know I'm first to castle, I have the extra wood, so I can go start to grab relics. There's a desert raider upgrade, so you can see that they do really well against cavalry. 31 damage versus cavalry. And they attack pretty quickly as well, 138. It's not too bad. I guess Gulam's yeah, 175. So here, because I have the tech lead, I want to try and start to deny him. So I get a nice villager kill, right? So I just switched him to a range build, right? Because it's a good way to pick off. And then I don't really commit there because I don't know what he has, right? Like he could still be massing up, and if he's been massing up, a feudal army is still scary. I don't have all my upgrades in. So, I'm getting my ranged armor upgrade here, so I want to try and preserve my army. I see that he hasn't responded, so I then go to burn his house, right? Like if he has to build an extra house, maybe I house him for a second or two. Could be value, I don't know, but it's also giving him vision, right? Byzantine houses are like towers. They get an upgrade where they can get a bunch of vision. So there I see his army. I get these nice villager picks. I think he was probably managing something on his base, and you can see it, so I get the 4 villagers, and then I'm out, right? Like I want to pick at little damage and wait to get an upgrade. I have a lot of spears, so I want to get my spear upgrade. And I got my +2 ranged armor upgrade, and now I'm starting to build rams because that's the easiest way to kill his base. Okay, ran out of gold, so I need to get all gold. And just, again, I'm continually trying to use units. I have my buildings idled there for a second. But yeah, so I'm just trying to move in. At this point, I'm trying to get relics, you know, create some sort of advantage if this game goes long. And there, my spearman upgrade just hit, so like I'm good to, at this point I'm good to fight. Even my +2 melee damage hit, so that's also good. Again, just wearing houses, maybe you know, house them for a sec, forcing them to build more houses. And then continuing to stream units in. So at this point, because he pushed me off the spell the first time, I elected just not to go to second TC and just commit to the So I see that he's also getting ready to fight, so I want to, you know, let's pause this for a second. So I want to bring the fight to me. You always want to try and bring the fight to you. One, because, you know, I obviously don't want to fight under his TC, but two, like, if all my units are here, my ranged units are going to shoot him as he approaches, and his ranged units are going to have to come up and to shoot. So I'm probably going to get 1 or maybe even 2 shots of my ranged units in before his ranged units get into the fight. Okay? So it doesn't matter, you know, if the ram dies here, it's fine, right? And I switch these guys to melee because, you know, he has a lot of horsemen. And then I bring them back, right? Like, because he has a lot of spears as well. And then I bring my spears in the fight, and then dive back, right? I mean, luckily here, my ram, sorry. My ram is absorbing some of these attacks, so everything helps when the fight is close, right? If we go to caster mode for a sec. You can see, I mean, I have way more armor value because of my upgrades, but unit-wise, I'm not that much ahead, and to be honest, I don't feel like I'm that much ahead. I feel like I do win this fight, yeah, we go, caster mode for the end, because this is the final fight, basically, and, not too much to say. I make sure that my reinforcements keep coming in. Right, there's another 3 Desert Raiders from my House of Wisdom reinforcements upgrade. And yeah, then he gets these cataphracts in. He had 1 cataphract before. He didn't use the trample ability, but I don't think it would have mattered. Yeah, they just get cleaned up here. And then I've won the fight here, and then I can, from here, I would just go in and kill his eco if he didn't surrender. So yeah, that was my game against Aussie Drongo. Again, really good player. You know, even better content creator. So definitely go check him out. And thanks for watching this game. And I hope to put more Ayyubid gameplay out in the future. Yeah, and thank you, and see you in the next one.